Hi everybody, welcome to Junk Drawer Art with Miss Riley. I'm Miss Riley. I'm sitting here on my bedroom floor today on Something Fun Sunday to share it's a really easy and really quick fun activity with you guys that you can do over this weekend with your family. So today we are going to talk about texture. My kids in my class get really tired of hearing me talk about the elements of art and the principles of design. These are the things that go into all of the art that you make, all of the art that artists make. Anytime anybody sits down and plans something out and is thinking about how it's going to look or how it's going to impact the viewer, they use these principles and these elements. I explain to my students that it's kind of like baking a cake, and the principles and the elements are your ingredients. And so when I'm sitting down to bake a cake or make art, I'm thinking about the ingredients that I can put into it. And so some of our principles and elements are things like texture that we're going to do today. It could be like color, form, shape, lines, all of these different ingredients that go in. And I explain to my kids that just like when you're making a cake, you don't want to use every ingredient in the kitchen or your cake is going to turn out. You're not throwing the ketchup in there and the mustard and all that stuff. Art is the same way. If you use every element and every tool you have to make art, it looks sloppy and messy and gross. And so we have to kind of pick and choose what we really want to use to make an impact. We can use more than one, we just don't want to use all of them. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is texture. It's one of those important elements. And so texture can be two different things. You can have physical texture that you can touch. So this plant has a smooth texture. I can feel the grain on the wood of this giraffe. This cloth has a soft texture, but texture can also be visual. So if an artist is drawing something, they might draw it to make it look like you could reach out and touch it. So I might draw a dog and give him fur and make the fur look realistic. And I talk with my older kids like third and fourth and fifth how you can use different kinds of lines and different kinds of shading to make your viewer think that there's texture on a flat piece of paper. There's some examples over here in the corner, and I specifically picked, actually they're over here now. I specifically picked black and white images so you could see that a lot of times the texture doesn't have anything to do with color. It has to do with the kinds of lines that are being used. And so I was thinking about a cool project you could do at home, kind of experimenting with texture. And so today, I've grabbed a collection of shoes, and we are going to do shoe rubbings off the bottom of shoes. So what this is going to be is using physical texture to create that visual texture on your paper. And so some of you have done this before. You might have done it with me. I like to do it with my younger kids. But all it requires is white paper, plain kind of thin paper. You don't want heavy cardstock. And just regular old crayons. This is my old falling apart pack of crayons. So all I'm going to do is just kind of collect a variety of shoes. I grabbed some of Mr. Riley's running shoes. I grabbed my favorite old pair. My kids know and love these. These are 15 years old. And I grabbed my pair of running shoes. And all I'm going to do is kind of just take some different colors and different parts of my paper. I want one paper at a time. And then literally just have a table here. I'm just going to kind of set my shoe down and kind of get it pressed in a flat area. I'm going to take my paper and lay it on top, and darker crayons are better. Yellow, light pink, those kind of colors aren't going to show up as well. But I'm just going to let me start with a purple and kind of using one side of it. See how it kind of laid down. If I'm doing it like this, the point's going to go down in. So I want to kind of lay it at an angle and just kind of gently rub. And you can start to get some really cool texture lines off of this. So you can see one of the lines that goes through the shoe. If you want to, you can do the whole entire shoe around the whole edge if you have like a pair of shoes that you really love, that kind of thing. Or you can do what I'm going to do and stop, change colors, and pick a different shoe. Shoes that are like this that have a lot of shallow patterns on them are really nice. You're going to get some of the best results. This one's going to look really cool. So I can kind of pick up and stop where I left off here. And I'm not pressing too hard. I'm keeping it kind of gentle. If you press too hard, it's going to wrinkle your paper up and it's going to go down. So you can see that this pattern, it kind of has almost like a beehive look to it. It's really cool. Take a look at that. So got like a really cool shoe pattern there. I can grab another shoe and try a different color and just kind of add on to it. And while I'm doing this, I want to encourage you that if you like this, if you're having fun with it, oh, that's so cool. Look at that, like a little geometric pattern look. If you're having fun with this, things you can do with it. You could draw an animal, um, like an outline with a black marker or a crayon, and then use the bottom of the shoe. So like this looks like a really cool scale look to it. So I might draw like a snake, and then I can lay my paper over, and all the places that I fill in my snake, I could color it in with this underneath it to kind of give him that a pattern look, that like a scaly pattern to him. If you get tired of doing shoes, some other things that you could you can do bark on trees is a fun thing to color on top of. You could try different materials like outside your home, like if you have bricks, if your house has bricks on the outside or your apartment has bricks on the outside, you could try it on different types of pavement. You could try it on top of different kinds of stones, different pieces of wood to get the wood grain through it. You could even try it if you have some different toys to try on top of, if you have something that's bumpy, something that's smooth, just to see what some different textures are and the patterns that they will leave here on your paper. So I kind of encourage you to have fun today. Walk around, don't color on anything, but walk around with a crayon and a white piece of paper and see what textures you can pick up on a piece of paper with just these two simple things. Please send me pictures of your art. I would love to see it. Um, Kind of lonely here with just me and John and looking at his art. So I would love to see some of yours. Please send them to me on Dojo. You can share them with me on Facebook if you want to. You can share them with me on Twitter or Instagram at CS Riley Teach. And I will see you guys tomorrow, Muster on Monday. John is going to be sharing his comic book creations, and I'm going to share a really cool resource with you guys. So I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.